Hello, YTPC. Parsimonious Piper here. Today I'm enjoying some Milan Tobacconist. I don't know if you can see that, if it'll focus. Wall Street. If you haven't tried their blends, you ought to visit their website. They're a nice brick and mortar in Roanoke, Virginia. If you're anywhere within a day's drive, they make a great weekend road trip when you're allowed to. Otherwise, visit their website. They have a good selection of other tobaccos, but their own blends. The ones I've had have been very good. This Wall Street is Burley based with Virginia and Cavendish. It's got a little bit of nuttiness to it. It's very smooth. I only gave it about a 10-minute dry time, and in this little Pipe by Lee Bull Moose, it's smoking really well. Single light, no charring light needed. Just it lit up and it's puffing away pretty well. Even just going slowly, a very nice flavor out of it, and yeah, nice tobacco. Give them a try sometime. I'll put their web address down below. So today, watching the news this week, like many of you, most of you probably, I'm stuck at home under government stay-at-home orders. A little bit of coffee, black, to go with that. Stuck at home under stay-at-home orders. I don't know about other countries. In America, we're not too fond of our government telling us what we can and can't do. And Americans in general have tolerated it so far. We don't really have a whole lot of choice. I have spent some of my time reading through my state. I live in North Carolina, reading through our state constitution and the relevant laws to the state's police powers, and I can see that our governor has the authority to do some of the things that he's done, but I do think he's overreaching. And some of our local governments appear to be doing the same. Unlike the federal government, our state governments do have considerable police powers. But those powers aren't vested in the governor. In our case, in North Carolina, the state legislature does, in fact, have quite a bit of police power. But it hasn't delegated that authority to the governor. And a lot of the things that he's done, I think, really should require the legislature's stamp of approval. Unfortunately, like many of you, I don't have a whole lot of ability to challenge this. Does the governor have the authority to do it? Well, I don't think so. Does he have the power? Of course he does. I can't afford to sit in jail and lose my job to challenge him. I don't have that kind of financial independence. And so I'm helpless but to do what he says, because I don't have the power to defy him, and neither does anyone else that I know. It leaves us feeling irritated. Now, if you watch television, you're also starting to see some protests in cities like Raleigh here in North Carolina and up in Michigan, where their governor has gone absolutely crazy. The incredible website Babylon Bee commented, they had one of their headlines that the communists were really impressed by Michigan governor's totalitarian dictates or something along those lines. But we're starting to see some protests. They're peaceful right now, but people are running out of money. It's been a month, more than a month, of lockdown now. People are running out of cash. The government's help checks aren't enough to put food on the table and pay people's bills. Some people have got creditors who are making some allowances because this is an extraordinary situation, but not everybody. These businesses still have to make money too, so they need our payments to them. This is not an easy thing. The government cannot just, our state government can't just print money like the feds can. And yet, this is really the economic destruction is really being dictated by our state governments because they're the ones who are demanding that we stay home. So, when do those protests begin to turn ugly? I don't know. People run out of money, they can't feed their families. When do the protests turn into riots? When do they turn into looting stores? Uh, Eventually, if our economy doesn't open up pretty quickly, I'm afraid that we're going to start seeing more more angry demonstrations that have the potential to turn violent. I don't want to see that, and I don't think any of you do either. Um, but if the government doesn't start opening things up fairly quickly and get the economy moving again so that people can at least pay for the basics, even if they can't afford the luxuries that we're used to buying, I'm afraid we're going to see some of that. Let me know your thoughts. These are interesting and potentially very dangerous times, not just because of the virus, but because of our collective reaction to it. Until later, this is Parsimonious Piper. Enjoy your pipe.